Hello people, hi, long time no see, I know. So today I'm going to be talking of one of the latest horror films that came out in 2020. I know that for obvious reasons, 2020 hasn't been a year that has bring many movies, again for obvious reasons. So today I'm going to be talking about one of the latest horror films that came out, and that's The Lodge. So, The Lodge is is directed by the brilliant duo that give us Goodnight Mommy. I'm talking about Veronika, Franz, and Severin, Fiala. So it's a movie that I've been expecting since so long, and now the question is, does this movie really live up to the hype as Goodnight Mommy? Which I don't know if I mentioned, but it was my second review. Well, I don't know. Stick with me, and I'll let you know my thoughts. So to start with, I'm gonna start talking about a little bit about the story about The Lodge. The Lodge is about a father who met this new girlfriend. Her name is Grace. Grace has a traumatic past, but he decides that he wants his two children to get to know Grace better. So he decides that it'll be a good idea in order for Grace and the children to spend some Christmas days in a cabin. But the children are not too fond with Grace because they believe that she stepped in the grieving process because their mother tragically died not long ago. So now they are stuck in this cabin with a heavy weather and heavy snowstorm outside, blizzard. And now the children are stuck there with Grace, but soon Grace's dark past starts to crawl in her skin and present. So I have to rewatch this movie again as I first saw it at the movies when it came out. To be honest, I didn't find it as effective when I first saw it. Maybe because there were some factors that I didn't really appreciate in my first viewing. There are movies that I believe that they need a second watch. I believe that this one is one of them. I mean, there are movies that you just saw it the first time and you know they're shitty and you're just, I'm not gonna see that shit again. But I think with this film, while I feel disappointed, and overall, I still think that the movie is overall disappointing somehow. But I still feel like maybe a rewatch could help. I don't know. I stick thinking about the movie in my mind after I finish it, so that's why I decided to give it a second watch. And I think a second watch really improved a lot and helped me understand things in a different perspective. I think I appreciated more the acting. I think the acting by the three leads was phenomenal. Riley Coof, James Marshall, and the little girl, I forgot her name right now. Oh my god, sorry. I think they were really great, and also I like the characters. The characters' stories, their traumas, grief, and all that. I think the characters were well developed, so I think that is something that I appreciated more now in the second viewing. I also believe that I kind of get more into the movie's atmosphere and kind of claustrophobic dread feeling the movie had, that maybe in the first time I didn't was not paying enough attention to those details. But now when I saw it in the second time, I really feel that the atmosphere really worked. The dark mood, the character, the acting, I think that was all really fantastic in a way now in the second viewing. But I still have some problems, and I think that one of my biggest problems when I first saw it was kind of like the dragging scenes. You know, I believe there is a thin line between tension in a slow burn movie and drag. And I think this movie had a lot of scenes that kind of drag, and I think that's what the low point of this movie. As you all know, I'm a lover of slow burn horror movies, but I love them with a certain amount of tension. And while this has tension, I'm not gonna say it does not have. There are some scenes that kind of like were too long or drag too much a little bit, that I think it kind of affect the movie, and maybe I focused too much on that in the first viewing than on the other parts that I just mentioned that kind of like improved in my second watch. So after I mentioned all that, then there comes the climax, which I believe the climax is something really important in slow burn movies. You know, the kind of climax I'm used to see in slow burn horror movies are the ones that it has like, since the beginning, it has like a very slow and mellow, but very intense and very tense mood, and then at the end is boom, bangs, and all hell break loose. So I kind of expected this in The Lodge, and maybe it was just my fault because I was expecting something that I'm usually expect in this kind of movies. but obviously I didn't have that kind of climax, so that was also kind of troubling for me when in my first viewing. But then in the second watch, like I said, it helps me think in a different perspective, and it helps me believe that maybe the directors wanted the movie to be in the same mellow tone, you know, in the same mellow tone, even though with intensity and tension, but they didn't want to like put this climax out of the way or out of the tone of the movie. So I believe that seeing it in that perspective, it totally makes sense, because the climax is in the same tone of for the rest of the movie, and I think it works and it makes sense now. So overall, I'm trying to make this video a little quicker than the others. The Lodge, in a second viewing, I like it more. I think it's a slow burn with no jump scares, staying live. And I believe the movie has strong points. Is like I said, the acting, the characters, the dread, claustrophobic atmosphere, and gloomy feeling overall. I think it has a good story, but it's also another critic I have is that the movie has some subplot points that I believe that I would have developed a little more the subplot of the story in order to be more effective. At least that's for me. So that is something that also another thing that I would improve. Maybe they could improve, in my opinion. But overall, definitely a second watch helped me appreciate it a lot more, like I said before. And I think the movie did what it wanted to do, like a gloomy, dark, atmospheric, slow burn horror film. So this was my experience watching The Lodge for the second time. I still believe that the movie does not come close to its masterpiece, the director's first masterpiece, Good Night Mommy. But that's all my thoughts for The Lodge. See you next time.